Get over here.
Hi, everyone. I think we're live now.
Are we?
Yeah. Who knows?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Wake Up in Provincetown.
Yeah, we are coming at you live again from my apartment. This week, everyone is just like a little discombobulated. Not discombobulated. Everyone's just like, Jonathan is in Nebraska. He is producing our show live from Nebraska. I think he's backstage at some gorgeous theater.
Jonathan is producing 3 shows today live from Lincoln, Nebraska. So he's backstage at, I think, a sound check for the shows, doing this with us. So thank you, Jonathan.
Yes.
And it just goes to show how truly talented he is.
Talented and dedicated.
Hardworking, because it's earlier there than it is here. He was like, you guys, we're going to go live at 8. I'm like, it's 8 for you. It is not 8 for me.
Oh, yeah, we can't go live at 8.
And also, our cameraman, Mark, is not here with us today.
Mm-hmm.
And Molly, Miss Molly, our house DJ, her daughter broke her arm.
Her daughter broke her arm, and she's getting a cast put on it as we speak. So we want to send our well wishes to Molly's daughter for a quick and speedy recovery.
Boy,
as speedy as bones can heal.
That is strong coffee.
You're welcome.
You make really, really strong coffee.
I do. This is also watered down to how I drink it.
Really?
Yeah.
It's stronger than this when you make it?
I have one of those stovetop espresso makers that makes 8 shots of espresso. And then I just pour that into a cup and drink it like a cup of coffee.
That's 8 separate servings. So this is half of it?
It's half. And this is my second one.
Oh my God, you're going to be awake forever.
I know, I have to work for the first time in 7 days.
Oh, that's right. You know what I have to say, for those of you that have been with us since the beginning, this is finally what I would call the beginning of off-season. You know, we worked until Halloween, then we went right to DC. This week was the first week that we've actually been able to be here and enjoy our off-season lives in town. And
it took about like 30 hours before the existential crisis set in for me.
I
was like, oh my God, I'm so excited to have 7 days off. And then like 2 days in, I was like, oh my God, what am I doing with my life?
Well, you have to be careful because the weeks go by much faster than you realize.
They do.
Like so far, it's already been 2 weeks since we worked. And so before you know it, it's 16 weeks since you worked and you're back at work. And you're like...
And you've done nothing but gain 25 pounds.
I know. I told myself I would learn to play the guitar this winter.
Ooh. Let's all learn an instrument. We'll start a band.
Let's be a band. Well, we're going to do show choir, right?
Oh, yeah.
Can we be a band and a show choir at the same time?
Sure.
Really?
Band, show choir, a cappella group.
What instrument are you going to learn?
We got a lot of stuff in the works. What's easy?
No, the triangle.
I could maybe. Grab that tambourine.
There's the triangle, the tambourine. The tambourine is not as easy. This is like a double tambourine too.
Ooh. Don't ask me why we just have a tambourine chilling in our living room. As we use a bongo for a table.
Cowbell is probably easy too, all things considered.
I love how we're so. Oh, how's learning going?
It sounds like what's that? It sounds like Grinder. Look, I'm playing the guitar.
Okay.
So actually, if you have to start the things that you say you're going to do now.
Yeah. Otherwise, like, you're like, oh, I'll take a little break. And then all of a sudden you're like, wow, it's February and I've done nothing.
Remember hashtag Fit for Fall?
Yeah.
That went away. So now it's going to be, I don't know.
Fit for February.
How about Fat for Fall?
Ooh.
That's kind of what just happened. Fit for February. Hi,
Brewski's also here. I don't know if y'all can see him. Chris Hartley, the owner of the brewery, is away for the weekend in New York. So Brewski is coming and chilling with us.
Oh, we have some great news, you guys. We all tested negative for COVID.
We did.
After we got back from DC, we went and got our tests.
It was great, though. Me and Jonathan got our results back on Saturday, and Bob didn't get his till Sunday, and he was all worried about it. I'm like, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't wait to tell you that you were positive for COVID.
But we went to the same CVS drive-thru. Our 3 vials went into the same plastic bag. So when mine came back a whole day later, I was a little distressed. No.
Brewski is definitely gonna knock over our tripod. It's not a tripod.
So we got back from DC on Thursday, got our test, and then Saturday happened.
Oh yeah. Where were you when you found out?
I was home.
Me too.
And I opened the door because you could hear, even from the East End, from Nobra, my neighborhood Nobra in the East End, you could hear people screaming, honking their horns, going completely nuts in the center of town. And my favorite meme from that day was live your life so that the whole world doesn't dance in the street when you lose your job.
Exactly.
Because that's kind of what happened to that person. But it was really, really exciting to see everybody celebrating and having such a good time together. Saturday was a really, really joyous day here in town.
Yeah, I was home getting ready to go on a little hike with some friends when the news came. And then I went on the hike, and then I opened up my Facebook and Instagram, and everyone was like partying in front of town hall. And I was like, as much as it was really nice, we had some Prosecco. We walked to Hatches Harbor, that trail. I'd never been on that trail. Have you been on that one? That kind of elevated trail through the tidal flats to Herring Cove?
No.
Or not Herring Cove, Hatches Harbor. It's like if you go past that Herring Cove parking lot, it's kind of that weird little parking lot on the left that you pass on the bike trail.
Yeah.
And then there's like a straight shot out to the beach, and it's really pretty because it's like this elevated kind of...
Up where the new grass is.
New grass?
Yeah, that new dune grass. Where, it's clear that they like recently seeded
past that, way past that. Like if the real parking lot, then you keep going, and it's probably like 300 yards ahead on your left, like a little dirt parking lot.
No, I don't know that at all.
It was great. It was beautiful. But we had some Prosecco, and we were out there, and it was really nice to kind of be like still, to be like still by the ocean, and kind of letting it set in. I feel like I didn't have this like moment of joyous revelation because it was this like kind of slow burn where it set in over the course of a week. What are you pointing at?
I'm trying to get him to walk away from the tripod.
I know. Okay, he's sitting now.
Good.
The tripod. Thank you for calling it a tripod.
He's like our cameraman. He's sitting behind the camera,
licking
his balls.
Yeah,
which is what Mark and Jonathan usually are doing.
It's usually what they do
when they're the cameraman. And then on Sunday, so Sunday was the first day that I got to go clamming this year.
Oh, nice.
It started on November 1st. You can only go Friday or Sunday. You do have to buy a permit from the Shellfish Constable.
Yeah, how does it work? I've never gotten a permit before. I've just done it illegally, I guess.
What is this? He's probably telling us something.
He's probably yelling at us, like, stop drinking.
The Fire Road. It goes out to Race Point Light.
Yeah, that's it. The Fire Road. It goes out to Race Point.
Oh, yes, I have been on that then. You just didn't know what it was called. He's new. He's new. It was only his second winter. First winter? Harrison just moved here.
It's my second winter. I'm like a Tommy. I'm just kidding. I'm not a Tommy. But,
so, no, you have to buy a $15 permit.
Where do I get it?
You get it you can buy it out there on the flats. Because he's usually walking around, and he's like, do you have a permit? And you're like, no, so here's $20, and you can just buy it right then and there.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I've never seen so many people out there before.
Yeah.
We have a 30-second clip that we're about to show you of what it looks like to be clamming, and then it's sort of a before and after. Before we have the clams, and then after we have the clams. And it was 70 degrees almost. So many people, and you're like, who are all these people?
Right.
Like, so Jonathan, show them the little 30-second clamming video, if you will, please, from Lincoln, Nebraska.
And I'm happy to struggling with it happened Saturday afternoon.
On a gorgeous.
Everybody,
It was a perfect opportunity for the
that was beautiful.
country to go out with.
And the memes that showed up so awesome.
There's so many.
She must have gone back after you left.
God, that was crazy with her.
Thank you. Let's go.
Hi guys.
Hey. So as it turns out, this is really hard to do without Jonathan
I
anymore.
know.
Without Jonathan in the same time zone.
Yeah.
Oh. Someone's here. Brewski's on
Brewski's
alert.
alerting us to an intruder.
But it's such a it's like an hour and a half of continuous exercise. You're like
Yeah.
raking, and you don't realize it until the next day, and then every part of your body
Yeah.
hurts, and you're like, I got an exercise. I raked my own dinner out of the earth.
What do I need to bring?
You need clam diggers. I like the ones that go up to here, because even if you wear boots that go up to your knee, you're going to be splashing
Right.
up here anyhow. You want gloves because you're going to be raking, and
Right.
you'll blister
Or get
otherwise.
calluses.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you want calluses.
I already have them. I'm so butch.
I'm going to probably get calluses from learning the guitar.
Ooh, really strong pinkies.
Is that what happens?
I think so.
You also need one of those metal baskets
Mhm.
and a rake, of course.
Okay.
You can buy these things at any hardware store in town.
Right.
It's not cheap. I think the baskets go for like $60, and you're like, really, guys?
They're cute though, right?
Yeah, it's cute.
It's a whole
Well,
look.
like Aaron Roberts.
Yeah. Erin Robertson posted a picture of her and a friend. I think it was Megan from Captain's Daughters
Mhm.
on the title flats, and they look so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put together a cute outfit, get out there. It was also Glam Clam.
Glam Clam. I did hear about that.
So there's a group of friends that include Fred and Steven from Strangers and Sean Burke from the Red Inn and a bunch of other friends of theirs who get dressed up in drag and go clamming. It's usually the first Sunday of November, the first day that you can go clamming, that they do it. And it's a blast. So that was fun to see out there as
Who had the
well.
best look?
Matthew Trento.
Oh.
He not only won best look, like they actually vote. It's like who looked the best, and then they all make food for a potluck, and whose food was the best.
That's cute. Who had the best food?
Matthew.
Oh wow, double win.
I know.
Take that, Schitt's Creek.
He's the Schitt's Creek of P-Town. And I think Sean won for most clams. Sean had 76 clams, which is a lot, which is plenty. That's enough for a couple of meals. So that was Sunday. And then Monday we hosted trivia, and I made my chowder on Monday. And then Tuesday, oh my God, Tuesday I hiked out to the beach in Truro with my friend Max. I told you about Max, right?
Yeah.
Max and I worked at the same restaurant together 13 years ago. And now he lives in London. He grew up in Truro. He's home introducing his 3-month-old baby to his parents.
Aww.
I know.
That's like, I think about that a lot. I had a friend who was pregnant through isolation, and she was kind of bummed that she felt like she missed out a lot. She missed out on a lot because she like didn't get to like spend time with her mother every time she wanted to. She didn't get to be around her friends and family. She didn't get to throw a baby shower. And I think obviously we're all sacrificing a lot, but that's such a bummer.
Bob Lindsay just sent us a picture of Glam Clam. We do not have the technical capabilities to put that up on the screen right now because Jonathan's in Lincoln, Nebraska.
If you could only see our tripod, you would be
Wait,
like,
I think-
oh.
Look, here's a picture of all these guys in drag.
Wow. Just really the technology here we've got going.
I don't know if you could see that, but it was quite something.
Cute.
Beauty.
I went clamming once last year and did not wear the right boots.
Did you get a whole basket of clams?
I got some, yeah. It was tough. It's so weird. You see all those people out there. They're out there, not every day, but often.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, how are there still any clams here? But there are.
There's so many.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday, so my friend Rocky, who used to live, it's like old home week. Everybody comes home in the fall because they know that we're all done working.
Mm-hmm.
We have more time to host and entertain. Rocky actually came home to help Jimmy Lee Curtis convalesce after her double knee replacement surgery.
How's she doing?
I think she comes home from the hospital today.
Great.
So if you are a friend of Mama Lee, you're going to want to give her a call, check in on her. I think she's going to stay at the Red Inn for a couple of days since her house is 2 levels and, she doesn't want to.
She's going to be at the Red Inn?
I think so.
Oh, wow, that's great.
So we're going to be bringing her food all week. We are
Great.
here for you. I made some
funny
Thai
thing
curry.
is like 2 days ago, I thought I ran into her on the street, and this person said hi to me, and I was like, "Oh, it's Jimmy Lee," and I like waved back, and then I like walked 50 feet down the road, and I was like, "Wait, it was not."
That's been happening a lot lately.
No, it's the masks, And also, I can't wear my glasses because they fog up. So, like, everyone's wearing a mask and they're super blurry. I'm like, hi.
You just need one with like a little metal
I
wire.
have that. It doesn't work.
Really?
I'm like, hi, human-shaped blob.
You must breathe really heavy into your
How does anyone else breathe? How do you breathe?
less with less anxiety.
Oh, I can't relate.
Calm
Mhm.
for me. Calm.
Yeah.
So Rocky was here. I got to have lunch with Rocky. A little socially distant chowder moment at my house. It's
How was your chowder that you made with your clams?
It came out really good. I don't put any flour in mine, and I just put enough cream to change the color
Oh,
because Peter doesn't like a whole lot of cream. Peter likes it to be basically like a broth baked.
that's
Well,
called Rhode Island style.
right.
Oof, Peter, you're gonna run out of town.
No, it's not like he. Never mind. I was gonna draw a comparison to other people that may or may not be run out of town soon. So anyway, on Thursday, which is yesterday.
Yeah.
So this was such a fun week. I finally got to go to the Muse. Hello, Ron Robin, if you're watching. We had a great dinner last night. I'm a sucker for a ribeye.
Oh yeah.
So if the server goes, our special tonight is ribeye, I'm
Take
like,
it. I'll
stop
take
talking. I'm getting it. And it was so juicy and delicious.
Oh, juicy.
So it was like the perfect week. Every day there was something beautiful and wonderful with marvelous people.
That's great. I had a much more chill week. I kind of didn't leave the couch,
Yeah.
which was kind of my plan for my first week off since I had 7 days off in a row, which is double the amount I've had combined since June 15th.
Mm-hmm.
So I was excited just to chill on the couch, but I'm like ready to do stuff now.
Yeah.
It was great. I did a little recharge. I did go to Harbor Lounge yesterday. It was so cute.
Was it busy?
No, but we were those people who were like, "Are you open?" They're like, "Yeah, we open in 4 minutes." I know.
You were there early?
I know.
You hate that
I thought they
person.
opened at 3, but it turns out, I think I don't know. I don't know whether they opened at 3 or 4, but we got there at 3:56. But it was so cute. They did such a good job making it feel like very comfortable and loungy. There's partitions that you can like barely notice. But it was beautiful. And also Rodrigo and Mike were there working. I think it's the two of them, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think they open at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock.
Sounds like 4.
It sounds like 4. Every day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And it was really cute. I got an espresso martini, which was delicious, and they had little snacks.
You love those espresso martinis at the Harbor Lounge.
I don't remember the last time I had them.
Oh, coming up soon on a future episode of Wake Up in Provincetown, we are going to go on a pub crawl with our seamstress, Janet Jurgalesko. We're going to let Janet pick the places and the drinks, right?
Cute. Oh no. Last time me, Bob, and Janet went on a pub crawl, I lost 5 hours of my life. That'll never remember what happened.
And a week's worth of phone usage.
Oh yeah, I left my phone in Front Street, which I had a dinner at, and that was Sunday night, and they didn't reopen until Friday, so I was 5 days without my phone.
Yeah, I remember sitting
And without
at the
my
bar.
dignity. That's about the time I like mustered up some dignity back.
I called the bartender Tom, and his name's Danny.
Ooh.
It happened.
Bob was like, "Oh my god, we were so messy at Little Bar." I'm like, "We didn't go to the Little Bar." And then he sends a picture of me like, just like falling over at Little
that
Bar.
dead-eyed look.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh wow, we were at Little Bar."
Yeah, so that's also what we do in November. That was a year ago. That was a whole year ago.
The whole time, Bob told me the whole time, which I don't remember. I kept being like, "Is this what winter's like?"
No, just fall. Winter's way worse.
Winter's way worse. Winter's the part you want to try and forget. Just kidding. I love winter here.
It's going to be beautiful. I can
Mhm.
already tell.
Yeah.
It is beautiful now. I mean, it's a little rainy. I mean, we may as well talk about weather right now while we're on the subject.
Yeah.
They're predicting rain again on Sunday. So both of our clamming opportunities may or may not be a little rained out. A lot of people will go out regardless.
It sounds kind of fun to do it in the rain.
Yeah, as long as you have a slicker,
Mhm.
and then you're much less likely to encounter the throngs that we saw last Sunday.
Right. Oh, so it's raining today, tomorrow. Oh, Sunday's supposed to be a little sunny.
Oh, that changed. When I looked at it last night, the sun was on Saturday and the rain was on Sunday. But that's good to know.
Yeah.
And
So maybe Sunday's your climbing day? Well, it also depends on the tides.
Right. So let's look and see if the tide is going to cooperate with us. I believe that low tide is going to be at around 5 on Sunday, which is kind of late, right? Low at
Oh yeah, at 5. So you might have to do a late clamming day, like go out around 3:30 maybe.
but sunset is at like 4:15
I
or
know,
something.
that's been tough too.
And so, it's hard to go clamming when it's pitch dark and cold.
And raining. No, not raining. Oh, but it's not raining. Woo.
Right. So this weekend is not the best clamming conditions, but those staunch townies will be out there regardless.
Well, you can also go. It's not like a weekend thing only, right?
It is a weekend thing only.
You're not allowed to go during the week?
No, you can only go one day a week, so you have to pick Friday or Sunday. And if neither one of those is cooperative with tides and time and all that, then it's like, oh, I guess we're not going this weekend.
Those are the 2 days you're allowed to clam, are Friday and Sunday.
Mhm.
So you can't go on like a Tuesday.
I don't think so.
Interesting.
If you know that I'm wrong, please put it in the comments.
Let's get the Shellfish Constable on our show soon.
That's a good idea.
Maybe we'll make Eric Borg go out with him.
Ooh.
Who wants to get dirty with Eric Borg in the tidal flats?
Everyone.
Again, I know, right?
So go clamming.
Yeah.
There's something extremely satisfying when you make dinner and you're like, I caught this myself. I mean, it's not hard to catch a clam. It's just time consuming and it's a little bit of backbreaking work.
Right. Yeah. It's not like, ooh, a clam.
Right.
It's digging and Molly says she misses us.
We miss you too, Miss Molly.
But speaking of Eric Borg, there's a small group of people that do this really cool socially distanced figure drawing, and this week's model was Eric Borg.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I know because my roommate Benji goes every week and does some. He always comes back with the coolest. He doesn't only draw; he uses like paint, cut paper, pen and ink. Like he
Where
does
do
some
they do
really
it?
cool stuff. At someone's home.
Oh,
Yeah, but it's a large home, and they're all socially distanced, and they moved it a little earlier to adhere to curfew. The people who run it are very sticklers to the rules. So.
is it the same person's house every time?
Yeah.
It's not the drink and draw that Mark Adams does.
No. But Benji is actually selling some of them at Domingos en La Playa, which is the shop kind of by Pepe's.
Mm-hmm.
And he's selling some of his figure drawings that he does. They're so cool. And also some he paints on glass bottles. And they're really
Benji
cool.
does?
Yeah.
Oh, when is he coming home?
I don't know.
He'll be here any
He'll be here any minute.
But while we're on the subject of Mr. Mark Adams, for those of you that don't remember, Mark was our very first local character. He was in our very first episode of this show.
He was the second that week.
Was he?
Mhm.
Oh, you're right.
He was your first.
He was my
local
first
character.
He was my first
Mine was
interview.
Noah Wilson Rich.
But today is Mark Adams's birthday.
You can do it. I believe in you.
I don't know how to use this thing. Let's see if he picks up. Mark?
Hi, Mark.
How are you?
I'm great. I can't believe I just heard my name in the back of my ear, and there you were.
Are you watching the show?
I am.
You're on it again.
Yeah. We're calling to wish you a happy birthday.
Oh my God! Really? Who told you?
Andrew Clemens.
Oh, shut up.
I was gonna say I checked my Facebook this morning to see whose birthday it was, and you didn't pop up. You're so secretive about your birthday.
I have a secret birthday.
Not
Well, I've had so
anymore.
many non-secret ones that now I've had enough.
I mean, I would try and keep the fact that I'm a Scorpio a secret too. Just kidding.
I'm one of the good ones.
You
Good,
are.
good.
You're the
That's
best
very
one.
true.
We wish you a very happy, unsecret birthday today.
Yeah. Sorry for blowing up your spot. Do you have any big plans?
Big plans. Let's see. I'm just gonna take a long run in the dunes. What else? Big plans. Actually, I have no plans.
Good for you. Those are the best birthdays.
Yeah.
Just chill and accept all the love coming your way today.
I feel it.
Good.
We love you. Have fun. Have a good day.
Thanks for
Love,
watching.
baby. Spread the love.
Mm.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Okay, bye.
Aw.
Everybody call Mark. Wish him a happy birthday.
He's like,
I know those people that like don't list their birthdays, who are just like, please,
Right.
I don't want anybody to know about this.
Mhm. I remember there was one year that I got no birthday messages on Facebook, and I was like, what the hell? And then I realized that it was all I had like the year before. I was like, I don't need my birthday on Facebook, and then I was like, I'm just kidding. I need it on Facebook.
It's sort of the number one reason to be on there anymore,
Mhm.
so that you can remember. when
This
your
year was
friends'
different.
birthdays are.
Usually I get a bunch of people writing on my wall,
Mhm.
but this year it was all messages. No one
You
wrote
must
on my
have
wall.
disabled people being allowed to write on your wall.
Oh.
Because I've done that too and forgotten that I've done it. And then the birthday comes and people are like, I can't post, so here's a message.
Interesting. I don't even know how to do that.
You did it. You probably were like
I
angry
changed
one night.
The year I dressed up as like femme Jesus for carnival.
Mhm.
I like put a lot of restrictions on my Facebook because I was afraid someone was gonna like take a picture, tag me, and my grandma was gonna be like, "What the hell?"
Do you think it would bother her?
I don't know. I was just gonna keep me dressed as femme Jesus off Facebook. You know, just in case I run for public office at some point or something.
You are going to.
Oh, yeah.
It's in the cards for you.
I know. I'm always like, I've never done anything that will hinder me, and then I think about it. I'm like, yikes! Just
Yeah.
kidding.
Listen, where's that magic 8-ball? Has Harrison ever done anything that would preclude him from running for any kind of office?
This
Remains
week?
to be seen. Do you have a major national or local news story to share with everybody?
Yeah, I want to talk about well, obviously the election got called yesterday. They called Arizona
They did?
for Biden late last night,
Which means it's being challenged in court right now. Then.
right.
Because if he's called, then it's fraud. But if Trump's called the winner, then it's not fraud. That's my understanding.
I think that's the rule. I think that's how it works. I mean, Trump's calling a bunch of lawsuits and challenging a lot of elections, but the general consensus is that it's not getting very far. The courts are just like shutting it down. I think one of the heads of the DHS said yesterday that it was one of the most secure elections in American history.
Mhm.
So I think it's
I mean, we just have 4 years to look forward to of Donald Trump saying that this was an illegitimate election and he will run again in 2024 if he's not in jail at that time.
right. We'll
Which,
see.
you know, there's a lot of things against him that will start to be initiated immediately after he leaves office, I believe.
Yeah.
And so we'll see.
I mean, this week one of his cronies said that in a press conference that they were like, blah, 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 transition of power. And they were like, oh, there'll be a very smooth transition to a second Trump term.
Oh, and then they asked him if he was joking. That was his chief of staff, right?
I don't remember.
One of those people that, yeah. Anyhow.
I know. But I wanted to talk about the potential for a queer member of the cabinet, which would be really exciting. I think odds are it will be Pete Buttigieg, which is really exciting. I'm not sure what role they'll put him in, but I would love to see Maura Healey in there as maybe the Attorney General.
Oh, that would be amazing.
She's the baddest. I love her. She's
Local
really
girl.
great. Local girl. She's incredible. I would love to see her in a cabinet position. We love her as our Massachusetts State Attorney General, but not that she deserves more than that, because that's an amazing position, but she deserves everything she gets. So.
If she wants it,
yeah,
she should go for it.
She
I heard her speak at an HRC dinner a year and a half ago,
Mhm.
I think, and was just bowled over. She's so inspiring and smart and thoughtful. We want people like that.
Right.
I think Mayor Pete for defense or education. If Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, if you're listening,
if you're watching,
Slayer Pete for defense or education.
Right.
Because reading is what?
Fundamental. I don't think he would get education though.
Really?
Yeah.
He's so smart.
I know Elizabeth Warren wants Treasury, which would be kind of cool, but also slightly worrisome because our Republican governor is the person who gets to somehow make the decision of who replaces her, and we can't spare a Senate seat.
Peter Sullivan is our fact checker. He said it was Secretary of State Mike Pompeo
Thanks,
who
Peter.
said that there will be a smooth transition of power to a second Trump presidency.
Yikes.
And when asked if he was kidding, he did not answer that question. This is why a lot of friends of mine, people who watch the news all the time, are so worried that this military coup, this sad attempt at a military coup.
The thing that made me worrisome is the fact that he fired the Secretary of Defense and installed a new one after he lost an election.
Mm-hmm.
Just seems like he's getting his ducks in a row for some untoward behavior.
Mm-hmm. Which is not shocking. But I have to say, for me personally, I've been we've had the news on around the clock every day for the better part of 4 years, and I just can't do it anymore. Yesterday morning, I turned on the TV and it was a 1.5-year old episode of Price is Right, and I was like, this will do.
A little escapist.
They were like, one of the prizes was a 2019 car, and I was like, God, that's a long time ago. Like, this episode had to have been 2018 then.
Oh my God.
And I still just sat there and watched it. I was like, this is better than the news to me right now.
And you're like, no one spoil it for me.
Right.
Get risky.
So turn the news off.
I know. Well, I have cable that I don't watch that often. If I do, it used to be CNN and I would watch it for hours like a monster. I just have it on in the background while I did stuff. But I discovered Apple TV has a CNN app. And if you don't put in your like subscriber information, it'll give you 10 minutes a day. So it's kind of nice. You put it on and then it shuts off and you're like, well, that's all the CNN I get for today. 10
minutes a day, that would be good.
Right. But nothing has reinforced the fact that cable news isn't the best thing to watch this past week, which was the week of the election. I know the election was on everyone's mind and everyone was talking about it, but we also hit over 100,000 coronavirus cases for a few days in a row that week, and it was barely mentioned on TV.
Right.
So it's kind of clear that they very much go for that, like, not clickbait, obviously, but that kind of like they bait you in with stuff rather than things that need to be reported on.
Right. I think how many new cases were there yesterday? 140,000 or something.
Not great. Texas has now had 1 million cases. California.
1 million.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Texas hit their 1 million case milestone a few days ago. California hit theirs yesterday. Not great, you know?
Wear your masks, guys. It's gonna get bad when everybody gets together for Thanksgiving, I think.
I would suggest not getting together with Thanksgiving with people outside of your immediate cluster or your household.
Right.
Keep it small. Don't travel. I think that's what they're recommending.
I know, but you know, kids are gonna come home from college. What do you like lock your college student up in the garage?
Who went to college? Did people go to college?
It's like, yeah, everybody's in college. That's where all the cases are being spread, at college campuses and stuff. You're gonna have to like slide a plate of cranberry sauce and stuffing under a door.
I just imagine it like smearing on the side of the door.
Thanks for coming home. See you next year.
Oh, that's a bummer, though. I know people are really itching to hang out with their family. I know people haven't been seeing their families as much.
I was talking to my sister about, you know, I try to go home in December or January for a holiday visit, but it's not a good idea right now to try to go to Delaware for a couple of days, you know? So if you guys are watching, Jackie, Lori, Dad, RJ, Caitlin, I love you guys, and I'll see you when it's safe to do so. And hopefully next year or later this year, when things are going well again, you'll be able to come back up to the Cape and visit.
Yeah. My family is almost all essential employees. My brother works for the Postal Service. My sister and my mother both work in care facilities, healthcare facilities. The good thing is, like, my mother gets tested every Wednesday for coronavirus, so she's sure that she doesn't have it.
Thank you.
Benji just got home and Brewski went wild. Very excited to see Benji.
He's like, don't trip the tripod.
I thank you for continuing to call it a tripod. That's
It's
really
a farce.
special.
This whole episode is a farce. Mark, Molly, Jonathan, we miss you guys.
We really miss you. We're really removing the facade of us having anything together. It's really our team that keeps this all moving and going well.
I think it's the team that keeps everything going.
Yeah.
It's no man is an island, and no man is a YouTube show.
That's very true.
You know?
Not even two.
It takes a village.
Yeah, it really does.
Any local news? Oh, they lit the monument.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
They got new LED lights.
How do you feel about them?
They're amazing, and I think over time it was a smart decision. I know LED uses a little less energy and they're a little more reliable, and I know people were like bummed about how many light bulbs were out in previous years, but I think it gave it a really cool charm.
Yeah.
And I liked the really warm color to the natural lights, but I think it's great.
We were driving on Bradford Street, and Peter was like, "What do you think of the new blue lights?" And I was like, "That's blue?"
I think it's like white light.
Yeah, it seemed white to me.
I think we're so used to like a very warm toned light that white light reads as blue to us.
And it's going to be lit for 5 weeks because that's how long the Pilgrims lived here.
5 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's how long it took them to realize this was an inhospitable climate for humans to live in.
Yeah, we're here.
They're like, oh my God, there's no fresh water left.
They're like, oh my God, there's no Planner's Punch. Let's get the hell out of here.
Oh my God. But it is the 400th anniversary of when they arrived, so that's why they lit it early. They normally light it after Thanksgiving or the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and so this year they did it early to commemorate the 400th anniversary of those poor, sad people landing here and being like, "There's no fresh water." What do we do?
I mean, I know a lot of people who lived here for 5 weeks this summer, and they're like, we're locals. So they're locals too.
The Pilgrims were like, we're townies. And the Indians were like, you're new. I mean, Native Americans, I'm sorry.
Jesus.
You're new.
I still get told I'm new. I've been here 6 years and 2 winters. Still new.
We're all new.
That's true.
Everyone's new.
Unless you were like birthed out of Pilgrim Lake.
Right.
Unless you were like congealed out of Pilgrim Lake, you're new. Sorry.
Are we gonna show Curtis's segment?
What a smooth transition. Great work,
Thank
Bob.
you.
So this past week we hung out with Curtis Speer at his gallery. Bob did an interview with him. I don't know if everyone knows, but if anyone saw our original promo photos of us jumping.
The picture of us leaping into the air on the breakwater.
We took about 500 of those, and that's the only one where I didn't look horrified.
Your arms were like this, and
I was so
like,
scared. I really
jumping like
I have
that.
bad knees, and people break their wrists and arms on the breakwater all the time.
But Curtis was very kind. He snapped a beautiful picture of
It's
us
gorgeous.
doing it, and we got to sit down and talk with him about art and Provincetown and his personal journey, and it's, I think, very inspiring. So take it away, Jonathan. Here.
Hi everybody, we are here today in the Cusp Gallery with Curtis Speer to talk about art in Provincetown for a minute. Thank you for coming on the show.
Absolutely, thanks for asking.
So I know you just celebrated your 4th season here.
Just wrapping it up, yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How'd it go?
Well, just like everybody else's season, it was hanging on by a thread, but we got through it. So yeah, another one off the list.
And how quiet for a couple months.
Yeah, well, I use the winter as my creative time, and so I'll ramp back up April, May. So this winter, I'll be putting together a coffee table book to sell. Since the funicular will be going in across the street, I thought I had a nice cash and carry item for people to walk in that may not want to buy a big piece of fine art. They might just want to buy a book. So that's my winter project to keep me sane. On my radar. I was living in Orange County, and every now and then friends of mine would say, let's go to Provincetown, but I had never been here. Until somebody said, the light in Provincetown is something you need to go for. So a friend of mine who lives in Palm Springs suggested that I sell all the stuff in my house in Orange County and then drive across the country in the winter and just stay here for 4 months and take pictures from January to May and then figure out where I wanted to go, either New York or Boston or DC or wherever. So I put a post on Facebook at the time when I was on Facebook and said, I'm selling everything in my house and I'm going to the East Coast. And one woman showed up with a U-Haul truck and bought everything. Really? And that's when I knew I was making the right decision. She said, the only caveat is, I'll give you my credit card, but you have to load the truck. So I did, and that financed my 4 months in Provincetown. And I'd stayed behind the Squealing Pig in those condos. So I overlooked the harbor, didn't know anybody here, had never been here before, didn't know what I was gonna do here, just take pictures. And then Terrence Meck, somehow we got introduced, he saw my work, he bought this building, said, I've got space, I'm handpicking people to go in it. If you're interested, I can offer you something, but no pressure. And that's how Cusp Gallery came to fruition. But I had never been here before.
That's a really good friend to say, go there for 4 months and you're like, I'm just going to do what you said.
You surrender, right? And then you trust it because you can do your job anywhere. You can sell your art anywhere. And you're on social media enough that you can move to Oklahoma, you can move to Arkansas, you can move to Provincetown, you can move to Paris. It doesn't matter. You can still do what you do. And I thought, oh. So I'm not being irresponsible by selling everything and moving. No, just go and try it out.
Right. And things have turned out pretty good so far.
Pretty good. I mean, not without a hustle. Because I've learned in Provincetown, it will either embrace you or it will kind of push you out. But you have to commit. You have to want to be here. You have to contribute to the community. You have to be diplomatic, right? Slow to speak, just observe without judgment. I'm learning all of this stuff. So, yeah, it's been good. So I like being on Bradford Street, away from all the hustle and bustle, because I can just do my own thing. I'm not pressured to do what the neighbors do. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, good. So how did you decide on photography as your medium?
Well, I went to school for drawing. It's something my parents nurtured ever since I was a little kid, and it afforded me a 4-year scholarship for college. So it paid for all my school, and at the time, while I was an avid, proficient drawer, I wanted to get into illustrations for advertising. But then computers started to kind of make their way, and I didn't want to sit at a desk with a mouse and a screen, and ironically, that's what I do. So I thought, okay, well, I'm not good at painting, but I love still life work. So I just started creating still lifes and taking pictures. But then I got hired to be a stylist for Neiman Marcus for some of their precious jewelry catalogs. And their stuff's pretty expensive, and it's so tastefully shot and executed. So while I was on set, the photographer's doing his thing, I'd lean in, I'm like, well, how are you shooting this? How can you figure out the lighting? Like, how do you know where it should go? And how bright or how dim it should be? And so I learned how to use a camera by being a stylist, but I'm not formally trained. I never went to school for photography. So then I started, while I was on set, I'm like, this would be so great with like a rotting piece of fruit or a dead bird or whatever. So I started creating my own still lifes, and then I started putting them, when I was on Facebook, I started putting them on Facebook, and people started inquiring about them. And then it just kind of nudged me along to keep shooting. So that's all I do now is sell my work in a gallery. It's so crazy. But that's been probably 11 years that I've been doing this. And only in the last 4 have I had physical space.
With 3 rooms now in this house.
3 rooms, yeah. The first year, 2017, I opened in May. I just had this room that we're sitting in. And then the following year, I acquired another room on this floor. And then last year, I acquired a room upstairs. So yeah, so when people come in, they basically have half the house to themselves because I don't get a ton of foot traffic in. So they kind of have this one-on-one experience. They can ask questions. They can sip a glass of Prosecco or a glass of wine if they choose. So yeah, kind of nice.
And how do you select your artists that you feature?
Well, Brandon, he's the sculptor, ceramicist. He's a childhood friend of mine. And I've always admired his work ethic and his work. He was somebody I looked up to in the art world. So I reached out to his wife a year ago and asked if he might be interested in showing him a gallery. And it's interesting because he's now the professor of ceramics at Oklahoma State University. So I was like, Donnell, I have my own gallery and your husband's a professor of ceramics. So now we're on this side of the art world. Do you think you'd be interested in working together? She said, absolutely, here's his number, reach out to him. So his stuff does really well here. And I love having a 3-dimensional element in addition to my photography. Because it makes the space a little more interesting, it's a little more, has a little more depth. And then
You did the little houses too?
yeah, all the ceramic houses on the wall, all hand done. Those are called community houses. And the meaning behind it is pulling people from different backgrounds and beliefs, sizes, colors, sexual orientation, pulling them together and doing it through an installation of houses because we all come from a home of some sort, right? So he wanted to use the house symbol to kind of pull everybody.
Is everything that's in the building on your Instagram page?
Well, I have 2 Instagram pages. I have Curtis Speer, which is just my personal account, so it's kind of all things, obviously photography because I take pictures every single day, whether it's the gym or the gallery or a still life I'm working on or being at the beach or whatever. So my personal account is just a little bit of everything, so you kind of get an idea of who I am. Then there's a Cusp Gallery Instagram page, which is just the art that's in the gallery.
For the coffee table book, is it stuff that you're still taking the pictures or stuff that you've already, pictures that you've got in the backlog somewhere?
So I've been shooting pictures now for 12 years, so at least 10 of those years will be in the book. It's only a 200-page book. I'm financing it myself, so I sell artwork and then I squirrel some money away to pay for this little project. But there's some new stuff, like this piece behind us that I really want to incorporate in the book because it's so relevant to Provincetown and living on the Cape. But it looks sculptural at the same time, so it's almost a departure from what I'm used to doing. Because most of my early still life work all has the black backgrounds, like the Dutch masters. And this year I wanted to go really light and bright, and so all next year when I open, it'll be a whole white show.
Aside from it being the first 2 letters of your first and last name, what is the meaning behind Cusp to you?
So I was always, before I opened my own gallery, I would always submit my work to other galleries across the United States, and I've been told no so many times that it kind of takes the burn out of it. You're like, oh, I got told no again, no big deal, let's go get a drink. You know what I mean? So people always refer to me as, oh, you're this emerging artist. Oh, you're emerging, right? And to me, the word emerging seemed like a struggle, right? Like the chrysalis about to turn into the bud, right? With that caterpillar, the butterfly's trying to break out of this thing. It's like a struggle. So I thought, Cuss, you're already done the work. You're talented enough, whether it's me or another artist. So it's almost like you're on the edge of the cliff and you're ready to jump. So there seems to be more courage in the word cuss than there is emerging, right? Emerging seems like this really long road, but I've been on this really long road for a really long time. So, and I'm still on it, but at least now I have basically a showroom gallery space to kind of exhibit the work that is in an old house, so people get my work in a familiar context. Mm-hmm. They know what it would look like next to a window or in a hallway or in a small little nook.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And good luck on your 5th summer.
Thank you. Hopefully hopefully we get people in town.
Thanks for making some time today.
Absolutely. Thank you guys.
Everybody check him out online, social media, and we'll see you soon.
We're back.
I love what Curtis had to say about not only self-belief, but determination. You know, you really do have to just stick to it. And there is something to be said for moving to P-Town and like committing to the place and the community, becoming involved in it and observing quietly and reserving judgment. Like that, he made me laugh when he said it. He was like, you know, you kind of have to get here and just watch and listen. Like, I think we would all do better if we listened a little more. So good luck next summer, Curtis.
Yeah, everyone should listen to our show.
I know, I can't wait to see his coffee table look too.
I know, that's going to be gorgeous. We're very lucky at the Red Inn. He features some of his art kind of right in the entranceway, and it kind of rotates through, so we get like a little mini gallery of Curtis's work. Yeah, it's beautiful.
So now we do have our call-in game.
Yeah.
If you guys are ready to play it.
It's going to be a different number today.
Yeah.
Because we're using my phone to film.
So you are going to call this. The number for this phone is 213.
This phone.
400 4896. Plug that in and get ready to call in. Whoever is the first one to get the artist and song title right is going to win a $25 gift card to the Red Inn, which you can use starting next April 15th or somewhere around there. The Red Inn is closed for the winter, but we will be back there next spring if everything goes to plan. So 213-400-4896. This is a song that Harrison picked. I'm going to recite these lyrics. Get ready to call. Ready, guys? Get to the club in a taxi cab and everybody's looking at me now. Like, who's that chick who's rocking kicks? She's got to be from out of town. It's so hard with my girls not around me. This is definitely not a Nashville party. All I see are stilettos. I guess I never got the memo. My tummy's turning. My tummy's turning and I'm feeling kind of homesick. There's too much pressure and I'm nervous. That's when the DJ dropped my favorite tune.
We have a caller. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, caller. What's your name?
It's Shane.
Oh, it's Shane. Where are you calling from?
Calling from Commercial Street in the West End.
Oh, work. Do you have a guess?
Is it Party in the USA?
Bye.
Miley Cyrus.
You are correct.
It is Party in the USA by Miley
Congrats,
Cyrus.
Shane. And also congrats on getting married last weekend.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you so much. Thanks for watching and calling in. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye.
If Miss Molly were here, we would be hearing the Miley Cyrus song right now.
I picked that song because after 11 years after hit number 1, it re-entered the top 200 because of everyone using it to celebrate this past Saturday.
It got played so many times on Saturday that it recharted.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I bet she's happy.
Awesome. Yeah. of
Isn't it the
course.
theme song for something else?
No.
No?
It was the unofficial theme song to Osama bin Laden's funeral.
Oh, his family played it at
I
his
don't
funeral?
think his family played it.
That's
but,
weird.
yeah.
But congratulations, Shane, on the gift card that you can use next summer, and congratulations on your surprise wedding last weekend. No, Shane had a funny story where he was like, we got married, and they didn't tell anybody. We saw him that day, and he was carrying a bag from utilities, and I was like, what's in the bag? And he's like, oh, a potato peeler. And I was like, oh, I need a new potato peeler. Can I look at it? And he's like, no, it's just,
What was it?
He was just hiding his ring.
Oh my god.
They were like, nothing.
I don't notice stuff like that though.
Well, I was like, I registered that he was behaving weirdly, but I was like, okay, don't show me your potato peeler.
It's very secretive. It's a secret. Well, thanks so much for tuning in today, guys.
And thank you to our primary sponsor, Be Well Cannabis Dispensary. Please go get all of your cannabis needs met at Be Well. They're open every day right now.
Killing it.
Yeah.
Thank you to Jonathan from Nebraska for producing our show and being that committed that he's still doing it from Nebraska. He'll be back next week. Miss Molly will be back next week. We'll be back at the brewery. Thank you for waking up in Provincetown, wherever you are. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.